All right. Let's start this thing. So we'll just get right off the bat. If you've probably joined this channel or at least clicked on this video, you have dealt with or are going through an Achilles injury, or in my case, a full rupture. I'll start by saying I'm not the type of guy to get in front of a camera. I love being behind it. Photography is one of my passions and something I do. But to actually be here, sitting here and talking in front of the camera is definitely foreign to me. But nonetheless, I'm hoping that my journey, my story to recovery could be helpful for someone else that may be going through similar situation or similar thing that I'm going through now. So I'm hoping that this video finds you helpfulness and be able to kind of give you insights on my journey thus far. So let's begin. It's been about a week since I ruptured my Achilles on February 3rd of 2023. For the most part, I think it was a pretty good day. I kind of sense what may have went wrong that day. Now that I look back on it, I was feeling really good. I had hooped that morning. I had played basketball that morning and had to leave because I had a photography appointment. So didn't get the full fulfillment that I wanted. So I was like, you know what? After my photography, I was like, I can go back and play another round, in which I did. And I think my body not being used to that, I had kind of gotten back into really conditioning and really running very actively over the last month or so. So I was still kind of leading up to that and kind of getting my body ready for that. So I think coupled with that, I think it was just a little bit too much for my body that day. And then I was just routinely going to grab a loose ball that was going out of bounds. And I was getting ready to take it back up court. And then that's when I heard the pop, followed by a very sharp, or sounded like felt like I got hit. In my mind, I knew exactly what had happened. I had seen the Kobe's and DeMarcus Cousins and Kevin Durant experiences and knew right away exactly what had taken place. I wasn't able to walk on it, not like Kobe did. I think just him being able to do that was just amazing. So essentially I went straight to the emergency room where I had to wait for some time. It was actually very busy that Friday. So I waited. I have a blind brother I have a fraternity brother who's actually a physical therapist. So I called him. He said we kind of did like a somewhat Thompson test, but I wasn't laying down. I was actually waiting in the emergency room. He said, can you, when you grab your calf, do you see your heel or your foot moving? I was like, nope. So he kind of reconfirmed what I already knew, essentially, that I had ruptured my Achilles. And then I went back into the ER, saw a physician, and he pretty much confirmed the same thing. They didn't do an ultrasound, nor did they do an MRI there. It was an understanding that, it was ruptured Achilles, so they didn't further investigate how much of the gap was from initial. It didn't seem like it was a huge gap, but obviously there was a gap there. So the timing was kind of unfortunate because essentially I had to wait 2 more days, which wasn't that bad, until I was able to be seen on Monday by an actual podiatrist, which again, they looked at it. He said that the good thing was that over the past several years, research has found that going the non-operative route for someone like me, early 30s, that it's better in that case than having to put me under and obviously do surgery. Back 10 to 12 years ago, that was the main route. But they've found that a lot of research, and I've done this research too since the accident, where I've seen that non-operative route is comparative to the surgery route. So I thought that was very good to hear, because I was, pretty much under the assumption that I was going to go and be scheduled for surgery within the next couple of days of the week. I thought that was the route to do. It was the most, talked about. You hear obviously Kobe, he literally got his surgery the next day, where they typically want you to wait at least several days until the swelling goes down. So I was under that mindset that, yeah, I'm probably going to be getting surgery and kind of preparing myself and seeing what that process looks like. But I mean, the meeting or the appointment was fairly short. It was him coming in, and he had a physician or assistant, 15 minutes, just saying, hey, we're going to put you in a cast. And then within 4 weeks, you'll come back and put on a boot. My initial thought was like, okay, the way they're going to do it, where your plantar flex is down. And I mean, you've seen videos where basically they want your foot to be like this so the tendons can heal over time. And I was under the mindset that I was comfortable with that plan. They did list off a couple protocols, one being, which I remember, which is the Willits protocol, which I've tried to research and see what information is out there. It's loosely, to be honest, it's not a lot of straightforward information on that particular protocol. So over the last week or so, I've pretty much been resting. I have a knee scooter. I think the knee scooter is huge. I actually, I got that the second day. I got the Achilles. So that Friday, I went on Amazon and ordered a knee scooter because I knew how huge that would be for me, being mobile and being able to still have somewhat of independence around the house. Because if you haven't used crutches or if you've never experienced that process, they take some getting used to, and you're using muscles and kind of putting your body through certain movements that you haven't done. So that really took some getting used to. And on top of that, it kind of hurt to be able to have that pressure on my arms and stuff. So I knew that wasn't I didn't want that to be my only option, essentially. So I've been using a knee scooter for about a week now. I have not fallen. I've been close to falling. It is it does have some danger spots to it. So just keep that in mind. I've seen reviews where people have reviewed the knee scooters as well as different types of crutches, and then the iWalk 2.0. I didn't feel like I really needed that. I think hopefully within the next couple of weeks, I'm going to get my boot. So I'm going to try to take you through this process. Obviously, this is being week 1. I don't really have an agenda. I'm just came and just, really prep myself up to come and just press record and just kind of speak to the camera as words come out. I will say though, that over this past week with doing research and kind of understanding the injury and understanding people's experiences, there are a lot of videos out there that have been helpful to kind of see people's progress. One of the things I think that has been difficult for me is just seeing new videos, right? So some of the videos I've seen, or at least on YouTube, have been 4 or 5 years ago, 3 years ago, which is fine. And I think from my perspective, I kind of want to, give a new take on it from an updated version, and just kind of seeing my process in today's time, and kind of give you guys the opportunity to kind of see that progress as well. So I'm trying to keep it long. This first video, again, it's just a week 1. I've been pretty much keeping my feet elevated. It is still a little bit sore. I haven't really taken painkillers at all, which has been good. It hasn't been bothering me to the point where I've been in an immense amount of pain. The only thing I am taking is 81 milligram aspirin to kind of keep from any blood clots from forming, since I am in a cast. So like I mentioned earlier, the podiatrist did mention that he wanted me to be in the boot for 4 weeks. Upon further doing research and looking at different protocols, I kind of thought that was a little bit too long. So I called in and wanted to get a second opinion at the 2-week mark. So I'll be going back to the doctor in about another week or so after President's Day to get a second opinion, and 2, get this cast off so they can look at it and just see what's going on. And hopefully by then I could basically see about getting a boot of some sort. That way it allows me to, 1, have the ability to take it off and on and kind of stretch my feet, or just kind of do early signs of movement, which I've seen has been helpful. And two, I've also seen that early weight bearing has been really helpful with getting the tendon in your muscles back moving again. And I've definitely seen that in a lot of studies out there. That's been really, really helpful. So again, yeah, this is just the first of many. Hopefully, I'm going to try to do this on a weekly basis every week to give an update on how my progress is going. And then we'll kind of see from there. But if you have any questions or if you're going through this, just know that there's light. Obviously, I'm still early on, so I don't, I'm just being very optimistic. But from a standpoint of what to expect week one, I know it varies. And again, for me, the first initial couple of hours were rough as far as pain, just because my foot probably wasn't in the best position, and I was just essentially, my body was in shock with what had happened, and I maybe took a little bit of painkillers for like the first day and a half, and then after that, once I got the cast on, I was pretty much in a good spot where I didn't really feel any pain other than just the blood rush that you feel when you're getting up, or you can't have your feet in a certain position for too long and you kind of got to switch it back and forth. Outside of that, I haven't really experienced a ton of pain. Sleeping wise has been okay. I do sleep elevated with my pillows, and it's, it takes getting used to. And the one backdrop about having the cast, it definitely is heavy. And your feet, it feels like I have a weight literally on my ankles all the time. So it's heavy, and it does take some getting used to. But like anything, your body will adjust. So again, I hope that you find this journey very helpful, and I hope to bring you more videos on my process and keep you guys updated as much as possible. So yeah, I look forward to taking this journey with you all, and I'll talk to you next.